Hey guys, welcome back to another day of Bible reading. Today I want to start with a question. So, are you a man of your word? If you tell someone that you're going to do something, are you going to do it without them having to remind you, or you are going to need reminding? That's what we're going to learn in today's teaching. So, do you say, yes, I will do this, and then you do it? Or you need more reminders and more reminders and more reminders until you eventually do it? Is your word binding, or is it just like air that is freely given and freely taken? That's the question that we're going to answer in today's reading. So, before we get there, if you remember last time we read about David's victories. So the man was successful in war, in battle. So we basically learned about how he got a lot of, he won against like, I think it was 5 or 6 nations, Ammonites, Amorite, and blah, blah, blah. So he just kept winning and winning and winning. And King Toi of Hamath aligned himself with David because he could see that I can trust David, and obviously this alliance would work for me. So, which was opposite for what the opposite with what the Philistines did when they first found out that David was anointed king. So let's get into it. David's kindness to Mephibosheth. Oh yeah, biblical names, yay. So we are reading 2 Samuel verse 9, 2 Samuel chapter 9 verse 1 until verse 18. So it's not that long. We're learning about David's kindness to Mephibosheth. Who is Mephibosheth? Yeah, let's go. And David said, is there anyone left of the house of Saul that I may show him kindness for Jonathan's sake? So, is there anyone left from the house of Saul that I may show him kindness for the sake of Jonathan? Who is Jonathan? Remember, Jonathan was the son of Saul, and Saul was the first king of Israel. So Jonathan was the son of Saul, and he was the best friend of David, and they made a pact to take care of each other. Like the way that Jonathan believed in David, he was like, you will become king, and when you do, I will be by your right side. But Jonathan died in battle, so he never got to see David as king. So imagine, like, but yeah, he now because of the pact that David and Jonathan made when David was still fleeing from Saul. Now David kind of asked, like, I think now everything is settled, and then David is calm and is like, is there anyone left of the house of Saul that I may show him kindness for the sake of Jonathan, my best friend? See, no one came to David and reminded him of the pact. Or did they? What prompted David to want to do this? Yeah. Why did he want to? Because, like, yes, I understand that he made a pact with Jonathan, but what reminded him of that pact? Because out of nowhere he just said, is there anyone left from the Saul's bloodline that I can show favor to? So, but also it kind of shows David's heart. It kind of shows David's heart and his loyalty, that he knows he spoke this and he does not need reminder, because obviously Jonathan is dead and this pact was just between the two of them. So Jonathan is not in the picture, and now David is the only one who is still alive. He can easily just choose to forget about it, and then no one will know. But he chooses to make sure that the word that he spoke has value. He doesn't just say, yeah, this is it, this is it. I will buy you a car, I will do this, I will do this, but then I'll take you out for lunch, I will blah blah blah, but then ends up not doing anything. So he made this pact with Jonathan when he was running for his life, and he remembered it when everything was now good and peaceful. So now in verse 2, now there was a servant of the house of Saul whose name was Ziba, and they called him to David, and the king said to him, "Are you Ziba?" And he said, "I am your servant." I know it must be scary to be suddenly called by the king. I mean, even for me as a normal person, a regular person, if, say, the king or the president was to request for me, yeesh, I'll be like, what did I do? What did I do? Like, it wouldn't be like, the king wants to see me. Because I know that I have not done anything that would warrant the king wanting to see me. So I can understand, like, Ziba would be terrified. So they called Ziba, and he's like, "I am your servant." And the king said, "Is there not still someone of the house of Saul, that I may show the kindness of God to him?" Ziba said, so this is David asking Ziba, "Is there someone from the house of Saul that I may show kindness to him?" Like, because now imagine, I think all these people still know that Saul wanted to kill David. These people know that Saul wanted to finish David. So, but then now David is still coming. Like, David never did anything to hurt Saul, or, nothing. But he had, like, he still didn't sin against, he still didn't do anything to warrant Saul's behavior. But now he is coming back after Saul wronged him so many times. Saul tried to kill him so many times. But he is still coming back and saying, "I want to show you the kindness of God." The descendants of Saul, I want to show you the kindness of God. But of course, for my friend's sake. I mean, like, yeah, I understand all of that, but this is for my friend's sake. But yeah, of course, like, I want to show you the kindness of God. Imagine someone coming to you and saying, "I want to show you the kindness of God." You will be so honored. I mean, like, really, that is so beautiful. That is so beautiful. So, and Ziba said to the king, "There is still a son of Jonathan. He is crippled in his feet." Okay, before we get there, what is the kindness of God? I mean, we all know that God is good, God is kind, God is love, God is mercy, blah, blah, blah. So, but the kindness of God is unconditional love. Man, mercy and grace that brings healing, that heals wounds, and that leads to transformation. Like, that is beautiful. It's not just talking about, restoring your positions or restoring the life that you had before, but showing you mercy, grace, unconditional love. You don't have to perform, you don't have to do anything to get this kind of love, just to heal you so that you can be whole, that you can just be a good person, be transformed from the inside out. So this is basically another example of Christ, like, basically David talking about the kindness of God, but obviously he's not talking about Christ. But I can see how the kindness of God, when you, like, explain it, I can see how it is Christ personified. The kind of, like, the way that Jesus, everything that he did for us, and he still keeps on doing, it's just a constant reminder of the kindness of God. We don't deserve any of that. We do not deserve any of that. So, but we are transformed, we are healed every day that we spend time in the presence, in the word. We are healed, we are transformed, and now we are we are becoming the image of God. Of course, we are not God. We are recognizing the image that we were made in. Like we are finally understanding it. We finally get it as we submit to God and he does his work through us. So Ziba said to the king, there is still a son of Jonathan. He is crippled in his feet. Ziba, why did you have to point that out? Why? What is so important about you mentioning to King David that Mephibosheth is crippled? Obviously, we're talking about Mephibosheth. So why is it important? Yeah. Why did Ziba tell David that Mephibosheth was crippled? Was he jealous? Or what was he hoping would happen? So the king said to him, where is he? And Ziba said to the king, he is in the house of Machir, the son of Amiel at Ledabar. So yeah, the king sent and brought him from the house of Machir, the son of Amiel at Ledabar. Yeah, yeah, and obviously, if you remember how the closeness of David and Jonathan's friendship, and obviously David mourned for Jonathan after he died. So now to find out that his best friend actually had a son, actually had a child, then I feel like I would be so happy. Of course, I would be sad if my friend died, but I would be so happy to get to meet my friend's children, because like the love that I have for my friend, I would want to extend it to my friend's children. So I can kind of see how David would be. But as much as he's a king, obviously he's not going to be like, he's alive. No, obviously he's not going to act like that. But I can imagine how happy he was. and yeah, and yeah, he also didn't care. He didn't care about Mephibosheth being crippled, because there was no follow-up question about that. So which means then it was not a matter of embarrassing him, but it was just a matter of like putting things out on the table so you know what to expect. And yeah, and so, and I wonder if they ever told Mephibosheth how he became crippled. Because if you remember, the first time when David became king, when I think it was Ziba, but someone from who was taking care of Mephibosheth found out that David is king, and then now they tried to get Mephibosheth, and then they tried to run away, but David didn't even pursue them. So they just reacted out of, obviously when a new king comes, you cannot be sure where you would stand. But then they felt like they would rather get away from the situation than, leave themselves vulnerable to the king. But David never cared, never tried to pursue them. And even now, he's not even asking, he's not even asking any further questions about his issue. He's just like, okay, bring him here. Bring him here. And now I'm thinking that like as a child, because he was fine before 5, but he became crippled around 5 years old. So I think there's still some kind of memory. I don't know. I think something, I don't know. No. When he was young, I don't remember how old he was. But so he was fine before that, which means that I would be curious. So I don't know if he was ever curious, if he ever asked anyone like, hey, what happened to my legs? So, but I'm also imagining that he must have been terrified. Now the king is coming to his house. I mean, not necessarily coming personally, but he sends people to his house. Why? the king sending people to my house. Why? What do I do? So I feel like, yes, I would be terrified again. And but of course you don't know why you're being summoned. Even at school, if you're in class and then now all of a sudden the principal wants to see you, you're like, what, me? I didn't do anything, I'm just sitting here. So it is I guess an innate kind of, you quickly think like the guilt, like what did I do, like did I do something? Even if you didn't do something, you start looking at what I could have done to offend the queen, the principal, the king. Okay. And Mephibosheth, the son of Jonathan, son of Saul, came to David and fell on his face and paid homage. And David said, Mephibosheth. And Mephibosheth answered, behold, I am your servant. This is Mephibosheth answering David. Behold, I am your servant. It's not David saying to Mephibosheth that I am your servant. So yeah. And so David, Mephibosheth is saying, behold, I am your servant. And David says to him, don't fear, for I will show you kindness for the sake of your father Jonathan, and I will restore to you all the land of Saul your father. So, like, yeah, we address the issue of fear first. Don't be afraid. Don't worry. Like, this is all good. This is all good. So don't worry. I want to show you the goodness of God for the sake of your father. Your father was my best friend. Like, imagine the king, the president, whatever, coming to you and saying like, your father was a very good friend of mine. So I just want to extend the love that he showed me. Oh my goodness, that's beautiful. So yeah, and I want to restore. Do not fear, for I will show you the kindness. I will show you kindness for the sake of your father. Like, if it really was not for the Jonathan, if it was not for how Jonathan was kind and good and friendly to David, a lot of these things wouldn't have happened. But yeah, and I will restore to you all the land of your father, so of Saul your father. And remember, he is not even looking at what Saul did. The love that he had for Jonathan is so much bigger than I don't even think he hated Saul anyway. Like, I would just say the hate, but the love that he has for Jonathan is so much bigger than the hate and that he had for Saul, the fear or the confusion. So he just forgave everything and everyone and just let it go. And the love that he had for his best friend Jonathan is so big and beautiful that he even goes after years, like, because obviously this is not after 2 years. Like, we are now in the second verse 9, chapter 9. So it's been a while since King David has been king, and now everything is settled. Remember, he already fought against a lot of people and a lot of things have happened. Abner and the situation, a lot of things have happened. So now he is going back and remembering that I made a covenant with Jonathan, and I am definitely going to keep it. I don't need anyone to remind me. The words that I spoke, I will make sure that they come to pass. That is a man. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a man. Like, at this point, I think that also I would like a man like David at this point, obviously. And that is a man. And that is a man, yeah. And you shall eat at my table. Imagine now the king is inviting you to eat at his table. So it's not just lunch. Come, let's have lunch. Let's go have dinner today at my table. No, it's not that. He is inviting him. Like, it's now going to be a relationship. They are building a new relationship, a new covenant now between the son of the son and David himself. Now it's a new covenant between the alive people. So as much as, yes, Jonathan was there to initiate all of this, but now we are starting a new covenant. You will eat at my table. I'm going to honor you. You will eat at my table. So what does it mean to eat at my table? What is the significance of eating at my table? Because this is not just lunch, this is not just dinner, this is not just breakfast or one-off. And even if it was, for example, one-off, it was still an honor. But then what does it mean to eat at my table? So eating at my table, the king inviting you to eat at his table, is a symbol of royal adoption. Basically, the king is adopting you. You are now my son. You are now my child. And you will eat with my family. You are now my family. And political immunity. So you are protected. Obviously, you are now the son of the king. You are protected. Everyone who lives in the house of the king is protected. You are also protected. And elevated status, obviously. So you are no longer a commoner. You are a child of the king. And covenant and reconciliation. So we are now, yes, this is a covenant. It's a lifelong covenant. Obviously, if everything works out, this will go beyond generations. This will be extended. Just a covenant. Like, remember, in the biblical days, a covenant was not made to be broken. It was made to last for lives. So this is where this new covenant was starting now. Reconciliation, okay. Let's forgive each other. I know, blah. Obviously, men never talk. And let's just forgive and move on and reconcile. I love you, you love me, we are good, blah blah blah. So let's move on. You're forgiven. You are forgiven. Now also, this also reassures Mephibosheth that, remember, he feared coming to the presence of the king, as anyone would. But now he no longer has to fear, because now he's going to see his father. He's going to see his dad, his father. So it's no longer out of fear, but it's out of awe and respect and appreciation that you now are in the presence of the king. This is my father. Yeah. And Mephibosheth, and he paid homage and said, "What is your servant that you should show regard to for a dead dog?" What am I that you should show regard for a dead dog? I mean, who am I? Like, honestly, I feel like anyone would be like, who am I? Why would you want to go beyond? Like, you don't even have to do this. You are the king. You don't have to do this. So who am I to you that you want to, like, yeah. Which is honestly why a lot of people cannot understand the love of God, the love of Christ. Like, who am I that you would do so much for me? What do you see in me? What is it that is in me that would make you want to do show so much love to me? Who am I? I am just a dead dog. I am just something that you can pass by the street. And now obviously he's crippled. There's also less honor, less status. But who am I? Why do you even want to remember the pact that you made with my father 2,000 years ago? Who? I don't understand. I don't understand. And then David called Ziba. Okay. So yeah, and so now obviously remember that oh my goodness, this name, Mephibosheth is disabled. And from the legs, I don't know if it's waist down or just the legs, but he can, I don't know, I think he cannot walk, but yeah, something's up with the legs. So what does it mean for a man, a disabled man? What did it mean back then when a man was labeled disabled, was labeled crippled? What did it mean? Yeah, often barred from royal places and holy places, because you are unclean, unholy. God has never accepted a crippled sacrifice. It needs to be clean and holy. So you are crippled. That's unholy. That's unclean. So you have been through life. So, like, it needs to be whole and holy. But now he is barred from, like, there's never, like, see, crippled people are also not allowed in the king's presence. You cannot come into the presence of the king if you are crippled. You are unclean, you are unholy, you are lower than a dead dog. So, but then now David is choosing to honor this person. The King David is choosing to honor this person. So now he is inviting him to the table. And remember, a table hides the lower body. So basically, the shame of Mephibosheth is hidden under the table. Now he is just like everyone else. He's elevated and dignity is elevated. So he's elevated, and now he is just like everyone. Sorry. Just like everyone else. So if anyone would come in here and then they didn't know that he was crippled and they just see people just eating and talking, sitting in the table, no one will think, what's wrong with you? They will just see, like, these are all the king's friends, family, blah blah blah. So now you are not necessarily same level as the king, but in that vicinity, And yeah, uh, let's go. Oh yeah, verse 8 again. What is your servant that you should show regard for a dead dog? And I'm like, why is it that, what is that? What's up with a dead dog? What's up with a dead dog? Because people always, like, even besides a dead dog, but a dog. Because I remember even in the time where a woman came to Jesus asking him to heal one of her children, and then Jesus was like, it's not time yet, like, blah, I don't remember exactly what they said, but the woman was like, that, like, even the dog is the, oh yeah, Jesus said, like, the family has to eat first before we can feed the dogs. And then the woman was like, even the dog eats of the leftovers of the family. So that's all I want. I don't want the big glorified honoring. I just want this little thing, the scraps of your food. Just take care of, yeah. So a dog again. What's up with the dog? Yeah. And yeah, now verse 9. Then the king called Ziba, Saul's servant, and said to him, all that belonged to Saul and to all his house I have given to your master's grandson. Dun, 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 dun. So now David is saying everything that belonged to Saul, the household of Saul, is now given to Mephibosheth. So now where was it before? Because obviously it means that Mephibosheth did not have it. Or I don't know. Where was it? Where was it before David now officially gave it to Ziba or Mephibosheth? And verse 10, and you and your sons and your servants shall till the land for him, and shall bring in the produce, that your master's grandson may have bread to eat. But Mephibosheth, your master's grandson, shall always eat at my table. So you will have food for your house. Like, take care of the land, the Saul's land. That is your position. I give it back to you. So meaning that David had authority over it. So remember, Saul died, and then Ishbonesh died. That was also Saul, one of Saul's sons. Ishbonesh died, and then now, remember, if technically if no one claims the something, it goes to the state. So I don't know if it means that they did not claim it or what, but now it was controlled by the state. It was under the authority of the state. So now David is giving it back to Mephibosheth, saying that it is yours. It was always yours. But now Ziba, because you cannot take care of it yourself, Ziba, who is always taking care of you, will just continue taking care of it now, and then you will have food, he will have food, and his sons will have food, and you will also have food, but you will always eat at my table. So this kind of sounds like every day. It's an everyday thing. Every time we have to eat dinner time, come, Ish, come, Mephibosheth, come, let's eat at the table. So now Ziba had 15 sons and 20 servants. Yikes. 15 sons and 20 servants. So then Ziba said to the king, according to all that my lord the king commands his servants, so will your servants do. And yeah, submission, like just as you said I will do. Just as you said I will do. And so Mephibosheth ate at David's table like one of the king's sons. You see, one of the king's sons. No more worries, no more questions. He's like one of the king's sons. So, and Mephibosheth had a young son. Oh, so now the fourth generation. Now remember, Saul begat Jonathan, and Jonathan Mephibosheth. Now Mephibosheth has a son. That's nice. And because I feel like it's kind of nice because remember, Jonathan was David's best friend. So now you can see your best friend's grandson. Like, so beautiful. And even though he doesn't get to see you, but it's so beautiful to see that you are here. I see the fruit of his loins. And Mephibosheth had a son whose name was Micah. And all who lived in Ziba's house became Mephibosheth's servants. And yeah, so before they were just sharing and living under the same roof. No, we live under the same roof. We're all equal. Obviously, Mephibosheth was not considered royal anymore because, I mean, besides the fact that his father died, and now the chieftaincy royalties are now on the other side, but then he was also crippled, so now he depends on people already. But then now he is the master of the people that he was depending on. So I'm like, I wonder, did the dynamics change after all of this? Because sometimes people kind of get an ego boost after recognition or getting a medal from the king or something like that. So I wonder, did things change after that? Or I mean, now that he doesn't have to do much, he's already elevated to the best that he could get. So I'm like, I wonder how things changed. But yeah, so Mephibosheth lived in Jerusalem, for he ate always at the king's table. Now he was lame in both feet. So yeah, he ate at King David's table every day. So then he can't live very far. Obviously, that makes sense. He can't live very far, so he has to live in Jerusalem with the king. But it was obviously not in the castle, but it's obviously somewhere nearby. I don't know. I'm just thinking somewhere nearby, and so he can easily get there. Yeah. Back to our question. Are you a man of your word? Are you a woman of your word? Or do you need reminders to keep your word? If you say, I will call you, are we talking about the same day, or you're going to call me next year? Or yeah, if you promise to help me with something, am I going to have to nag you, or when you are available, you will quickly let me know? Or even if you're not available, you'll just keep telling me like, hey, I know I promised that I would help you, but things are still not working out. I haven't forgotten, but I will help you when I get the time. So which one are you? And because you know that we are not much if we don't have our word. So I kind of like that about David. Yeah, I like that about David. I mean, so far in verse 9, he was a man of his word. I think I'm a woman of my word. I do forget sometimes, and obviously I kind of beat myself up with certain things, of course, and other things I'm like, eh. But with some things I'm like, oh, bugger. But yeah, it kind of tells of your character too. So let's work on our character. And you don't want to be telling people like, hey, I will come over, and they're like, he'll not, like, you don't want to to lose, you don't want your word to lose value. You want, like, if people know you, they should be able to trust you. The people that know you should trust you. Whatever you say, you should not need someone else to come and nag you. If you promise to take out the trash, why should I have to remind you over and over and over again? Because now you are training me to not trust you. So I like that part about David, and I know that is not an easy thing. But yeah, that's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Verse 9, chapter 9, verse 1 to 13. It was a good one, and I hope you guys learned something today. I will see you all next time when we learn that David defeats Ammon and Syria. So yeah, I love you guys and more. Jesus loves you, and see you next time. Bye.